everybody, welcome back to SSBCrack exams. I'm Anuradha, and in this session I'm going to give you certain important eligibility criteria that will help you to know whether you are eligible for the Central Armed Police Forces Assistant Commandants, in other words, for your CAPF AC examination, right? So please stay tuned to this session till the very end to know whether you are eligible for the CAPF AC examination or not. So let's start with the contents, the index that we are going to cover in this session. First, we will see the sex and nationality criteria, then criteria for age limits, followed by criteria for educational qualifications, criteria for physical standards, and certain important points that you should note if you are applying for the CAPF AC examination. So let's start with the disclaimer before everything else. The candidates applying for the examination should ensure that they fulfill all eligibility conditions for admission to the examination. Their admission at all the stages of the examination will be purely provisional, subject to satisfying the prescribed eligibility conditions. Also remember that mere issue of e-admission certificate to the candidate will not imply that his or her candidature has been finally cleared by the commission. Okay, so let's start with the first criteria, that is sex and nationality criteria. As per the sex criteria, both male and female candidates are eligible for appointment to the post of assistant commandants. As per the nationality criteria, no person who is not a citizen of India shall be appointed or employed under these rules except, and there is a condition, except with the consent of the central government signified in writing. Other than that, no person who is not a citizen of India shall be appointed or employed under these rules. Provided also, and there is another condition, that nothing contained in these rules shall debar the appointment, enrolment, or employment of a subject of Nepal or Bhutan under these rules. Alright, now we will move on to the next criteria, which is the criteria for age limits. And this is very important. I would request you to take a very careful note of it, and according to the age limits, please match your own eligibility criteria. So for the CAPF AC 2020 examination, a candidate must have attained the age of 20 years and must not have attained the age of 25 years as on 1st August 2020, right? So a candidate who is applying for the CAPF AC 2020 examination should see that he or she is of 20 years of age already, but has not yet become 25 years of age on 1st August 2020. Okay, so the candidate has to born not earlier than 2nd August 1995 and not later than 1st August 2000, right? So this criteria also you need to keep in mind for those of you who are going to sit for CAPF AC 2020 examination. Now for CAPF AC 2021 examination, the candidate again must have attained the age of 20 years and must not have attained the age of 25 years on 1st August 2021. Same criteria, but as on 1st August 2021. And for these kinds of candidates, he or she has to born not earlier than 2nd August 1996 and not later than 1st August 2001. Naturally, okay? Now, there are certain relaxations, okay? And this is pertaining to certain categories. Now, what are those categories? Let's have a look. So, the upper age limit prescribed according to the chart that I have shown to you will be relaxable, and there are different criteria. So, please make a note of it. The upper age limit will be relaxable up to a maximum of 5 years if a candidate belongs to SC or a ST. That means if a candidate belongs to a scheduled caste or a scheduled tribe. The upper age limit is also relaxable up to a maximum of 3 years in the case of candidates belonging to OBC, that is other backward classes, who are eligible to avail of reservation applicable to such candidates, right? The upper age limit is also relaxable up to a maximum of 5 years for civilian central government servants in accordance with the existing instructions of the central government. Ex-servicemen will also be eligible for this relaxation. Ex-serviceman, that is a person who has served in any rank, whether as combatant or a non-combatant in the regular army, navy and air force of the Indian Union, and who either has been retired or relieved or discharged from such service, whether at his own request or being relieved by the employer after earning his or her pension, are also eligible for this relaxation. This is very important. However, the total relaxation claimed on account of government service will be limited to 5 years. Okay, now I will describe to you about these terms, civilian government, central government servants or ex-servicemen, in some time. So please stay tuned to it. Now, moving on to candidates belonging to the scheduled castes and the scheduled tribes and the other backward classes who are also coming under the category of civilian central government servants or ex-servicemen will be eligible for the grant of cumulative age relaxation under both the categories. Okay? The term, now here it is, I will explain to you about these terms, ex-servicemen and civilian central government servants. So please be very careful. The term ex-servicemen will apply to the persons who are defined as ex-servicemen in the ex-servicemen Re-employment in Civil Services and Posts Rules 1979 as amended from time to time. So you need to take a note of it. The term civilian central government servants will apply to persons who are defined as government servants in the Central Civil Services Classification, Control and Appeal Rules 1965 as amended from time to time. Right? So now you have seen there are various age limits, age criteria, different conditions also as per the different categories. So you need to be very well aware and very careful when you are applying for your CAPF AC examination. You need to take care of these age criteria which will be matching with your own. So please be careful about the criteria for age limits. Now I'll move on to the next criteria, which is the criteria for educational qualifications. Now, a candidate who is applying for the CRPF AC examination must hold a bachelor's degree of a university incorporated by an act of the central or state legislature in India or other educational institutions established by an act of parliament or declared to be deemed as a university under Section 3 of the University Grants Commission Act 1956 or possess an equivalent qualification, right? Now, candidates, and this is very important, so please make a note of it. Candidates who have appeared at an examination, the passing of which would render them educationally qualified for the Commission's examination, but have not been informed of the results, as also the candidates who intend to appear at such a qualifying examination in the year of the Commission's examination, will also be eligible for admission to the examination. Provided, and there is a condition, so please make a note of the condition carefully, provided that they produce proof of having passed the requisite examination along with the detailed application form which will be required to be submitted online by the candidates who, after applying on the result of the written part of the examination, are also declared qualified in the physical standards or physical efficiency tests and medical standard tests. Right? So you need to give a proof of passing the requisite examination even if you have appeared for the examination and have not got the results of the examination yet. Right? Now, moving on to the candidates in exceptional cases can be admitted, and in exceptional cases the Union Public Service Commission may treat a candidate who has not any of the foregoing qualifications as a qualified candidate, provided, again there is a condition, provided that he or she has passed an examination conducted by the other institutions, the standard of which in the opinion of the commission justifies his or her admission to the examination. Now, this solely depends on the Union Public Service Commission, right? Now, the candidates who are possessing professional and technical qualifications which are recognized by the government as equivalent to professional and technical degree would also be eligible for admission to the examination. Okay? Now, coming on to the criteria for physical standards. Candidates must meet the prescribed physical and medical standards for admission to Central Armed Police Forces Assistant Commandants examination as specified in the designated appendix of the notice. So you need to take care of the physical and medical standards. So you need to take care if you are matching with the physical and medical standards as specified in the designated appendix of the notice, and then only you can apply and you can become eligible physically according to the physical standards of the CRPF AC examination. Now, there are certain important points that I want you to take a note of, and this is important. Possession of NCC B or C certificate will be a desirable qualification. Okay? And I hope this is very important. So please make a note, and I'm repeating, possession of NCC B or C certificate will be a desirable qualification, and these qualifications will be however given consideration at the time of interview or personality test only, not in written test. Okay, only in interview or personality test. Also, a candidate who has been finally selected on the basis of an earlier examination to the post of Assistant Commandants in any of the forces participating in the Central Armed Police Forces Assistant Commandants examination will not be eligible to appear at a subsequent examination for recruitment of Assistant Commandants in the participating CAPFs. Right? So this is very important. So please note it very carefully. So now that you have known about the different eligibility criteria, and I hope that you have already started matching with your own criteria according to the eligibility criteria I have provided to you for CAPF AC examination, the time has now come for you to prepare well and to perform better in the written examinations for the CAPF AC examination. So don't worry, I have the perfect solution for you. Download our mobile app from the Google Play Store, or you can just visit our website learn.ssbcrackexams.com, and you can enroll to our CAPF AC course where you will get full length detailed content lectures, quizzes, sample practice Q&A, practice papers and PDF study materials and much more. So hurry up, don't wait anymore, work hard and you'll be successful in your attempt. Jai Hind.